Welcome to the Country Castle. I am coming to you from my kitchen tasked with bringing my famous sourdough dinner rolls. This is a recipe I have been making for years. It is so easy and so delicious. So today I want to do another step-by-step in showing you how to make these rolls. Maybe when you see how easy they are to make, you will add these to your Thanksgiving dinner or your Sunday dinner. They're so yummy, so easy to put together. Those of you who are new to sourdough, this is another easy recipe that I know you'll be able to do. So let's do my easy step-by-step. Let's start baking. I have a few tricks that I love to use with this recipe. It requires room temperature water, like a warm water, and cooled down butter. What I do is I melt my butter and then I fill my water up and I add my butter to it, which made the butter cool down and my water warm. So let's do that. The great thing about this recipe is you get to add everything to the bowl at once. So while the butter is melting, we're gonna do 2.5 cups of flour. We have a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, we're gonna stir that around in our bowl just to mix the sugar and the salt and the flour together. Once the butter is melted, we're gonna add it to our water. I then add my sourdough starch. And you want a 1/2 cup of active sourdough starch. So make sure that you feed your starch with plenty enough time to make sure that it's active and bubbly. Now we're going to take our bowl over to our mixer. We're going to attach the dough hook and we are going to mix our dough. I like to set mine to just 1 or 2. I am going to add in my water, butter, and my sourdough starch while it's running. This is the fun part. You're going to mix your dough until it passes the window pane test. So we're gonna mix it for about 5 to 6 minutes, depending on how long that takes. And what we're looking for is that the dough has enough elasticity that when you stretch it, that it doesn't break apart and you can see through it. So it's called the window pane test. So let's start mixing it and we'll see how long that takes us. So now we want to pass the window pane test, which means you can pull on it without it breaking apart. That means enough of the gluten has developed that we are ready to put it in our bowl for the first rise. I want to show you how beautiful this dough is. It's like sticky but doesn't stick to your hands. It's soft as butter. It's my favorite sourdough dough to make. I think it's the butter that's in it, but it's just beautiful. I'm gonna put it into a greased bowl. I just use my avocado spray and we are going to let it rise. I do this overnight so that this is rising while we sleep. I do the same thing with my bread and my cinnamon rolls. It's a great way to get your first rise done. So by the next morning, you are forming your rolls and then you can bake them by the afternoon. So if you're planning on making these for Thanksgiving, I highly recommend doing it this way so that you can ensure that your rolls are ready to bake by the time you eat. Now, I already made some dough last night, so I am going to show you how to form these rolls and get them ready for the second rise so you can then bake them. The dough has now doubled in size. It's nice and light and airy because of all of that rising it's done. We are going to shape it into a log, just like this. And we're gonna cut it into 8 equal pieces. This recipe makes a total of 8. I always double it, so I have 16 rolls. But you're just gonna score the top 7 times, and then you're going to cut your dough. You can put these in a 9x13 dish, or you can put them in an 8x8 dish or a pie dish. I have my other rolls rising in a pie dish. If you want more pull-apart rolls, the smaller the dish. If you want them more spread out, you can do the 9x13. I'm gonna show you my favorite part. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lay our dough like this, and we're gonna reach up and grab. You're gonna create almost like a dumpling, like this, and you're gonna put it face down here. You're creating surface tension under your roll so that when you lift it up, it's basically has sealed and closed itself. And then we are going to add that to our baking dish. This is what they look like after the second rise. Brush the tops with an egg wash, or we can brush them with butter at the end, and I usually just brush them with butter, but today I'm going to do the egg wash. Once your doughs have risen, I love that this looks like a flower, so do a pie dish. That's kind of a fun shape. We have the egg wash on it. We're gonna cook it at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown. They are gonna be the most delicious rolls you've ever had. Once your rolls are done, you get to dive in. They are the most light, fluffy, yummy roll. The sugar gives it a little sweet, but then you get a little bit of that sour from the sourdough. I hope you try this out. Maybe this will become your new Thanksgiving dinner roll because it sure is ours. We love it so much.